Hello. Oh, we got us there. Talk, Jared. They've got me. Cannot hear you. Here's why. Maybe. We should talk now. That was funny. Welcome back, Dice Rollers and Role Players. It is Ryan with God of Crits, and we are here talking Kingdom's Reign. I am joined by Jared.
Hello, I'm back for the next episode.
Yes, number 3, Kingdom's Reign Workshop number 3. We have been making good progress. Last week we kind of hit on knowledge, and we created kind of a new policy. Yeah, a new policy for sure. In the middle of we figured that out, and I do like this. I'm excited for knowledge, and let's keep it going. If you are curious about that, go ahead and watch our old video, and you can find out what knowledge is. However, for now, we must continue, and continue we shall. We kind of stopped. Did we finish colonizing last time? I believe we did, because we got scout.
We pretty much finished. There's a couple on the to-do list.
Yes, we do have a to-do list. That's fancy. We have to finish abilities, which are going to be these check-marked, things you'll get every once in a while. And then we got to finish the knowledge. And, of course, one of the abilities is the races. Is that where you want to start now? Or do you want to do something else? Does something else today kind of pique your fancy?
I think we should start on the victory conditions and what, how do you achieve them? Because we have not done that. We've just been pushing it to the side.
Yes. I mean, we've got general stuff, right? But yes, you're right. We need to... Oh, dang. None of it's in here. I think it's all in general here, so that's okay. You're right. So we kind of talked beforehand.
Victory conditions, all.
There it is. Thank you. You know better than I do. We'll go with our handy dandy calculator, and I'll put it somewhere that's not incredibly annoying for the viewer. However, today we're going to focus on victory conditions. The toughest ones, or the easiest ones, I think we get the easy ones out of the way pretty quickly, right? The easiest one's going to be, I think, magic and religion, because that is already kind of built in. So, for example, magic. We'll copy and paste this over. We'll bring all this over. So we know that you have to found all schools of magic, right? Conjuration, blah, blah, divination, all that. And then you have to train a 9th level caster in each. So you must have to first have the school to train the wizard. I think that one goes without saying. So you can't train a 9th level divination wizard without...
You need to build a school for that.
And if we've got someone in the chat at any points, go ahead and put any opinions. We'll take any and all help here. Okay, so what did we decide on the average game length? I think we went 2,500 total KP divided by 60, because we said 60 is probably going to be the average amount out of 100 KP per turn that you'll be putting in. And this will equal play sessions for the average victory. About 41 play sessions. That's a decent amount. We could knock that down to 2,000, and that would grow. That would get smaller, because 41, if you're doing it, weekly, 41 weeks is a lot. But what I do like is that, it is almost a year. But what I do think is good about that is you're going to get a lot of magical items. It's going to help you, and it's probably going to be a lot quicker than that. So for now, let's base it off of 2,500. So if we have, 8 schools, I put an extra O in there, and 8 wizards. If you divide up 2,500 evenly into, what's that, 16?
1250.
Oh, whoops. Into 16, 2,500 divided by 1/6, the 8 schools, 8 wizards, comes out to 156.25. So that is about how much KP we want our players to put into each. However, what we could do, and what I kind of want to do, is go, what would be more difficult? Founding a school or training a wizard? That's the ultimate question here. And what do we want? Yeah, go ahead.
Probably training a wizard would be the most difficult.
I agree. I tend to agree with that, which means how much more of a difficulty when you're going on a scale of 2,500. Should we say 7/10 times 0.7 is going to be 1,750, which means the wizards we want to be at 1,750 total. And what's that leave us with if we go 2,500 divided by 1,750? I don't know if the viewers can see this or not. Oh, whoops, that's not what I want to do. 2,500, we could just go times 0.3, which will give us the answer of 750. So what that is showing us, if we did it like this, that means that to get the 8 schools, you only need 750 KP total. But to get the 8 wizards, you need nearly 2,000.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Do you think that is? Or do you want to swing it a little bit one way or the other? What do you think?
Well, the problem is if our total KP for the victory condition is going to be, because like what if somebody wants to put KP into other things, not just magic, you know?
You're right. And I think
it's gonna take a lot more weeks for them to achieve that victory condition.
Totally. So
I guess it kind of depends on the timeline. Like, it doesn't matter if the group wants to go more than 41 weeks or.
Right. It also depends on that other KP you're going to be spending into this. Does that stuff help you win it overall? You know what I mean? Does that actually help you towards your finishing goal? Also, the question of... So let's just get a rough idea in, and these numbers can adjust later. And I think as we come up with ideas, we'll go, oh, you're right. We need to cut both these down by 500 and then put 1,000 KP for whatever we want here. But for now, let's go 1,700 and 800. Let's assume that's what we're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is that obviously 100 KP to get a school. Also means that it's going to be pretty close to 200. 1,700 divided by 8 is 212.5. Okay, so by this standard, every 100 KP you'll find a school. Every about 212 KP you will get yourself a wizard. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's how you can figure out, I guess, how to get to your victory condition on the super simple chance of if we just sat down today and we wanted to get us going in the game, we could technically start. But to that fact, I think it should be more than just dumping KP in and being kind of done with it. I mean, it should be simple, but I don't know if I want to do that. So when you come to the 8 schools, maybe...
Well, you should,
go ahead.
Maybe you need like 8 magical items or 8 magical artifacts for each school. Or not each school, but one for each school, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would just be cutting into our wizard time. We could totally do that. We could divide up and have a new magical item. My worry with the magical items is that now I almost wanted magical items to be purely exploration that could be put in. What I was thinking is going like this. I was thinking of doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll just go 3 over. And then divination, conjuration, evocation. I might be doing these out of order. I don't know. Necromancy.
Illusion. Aberration, I think, is one.
Abjuration. And I've got it at the tip of my tongue. Chat, help me out. What is it? What's our last school?
I just made this wizard too.
Divination, conjuration, evocation. I'm pretty sure it's the one that the freaking that has all like the druid spells are under. Do we even play D&D, dude?
You get enchantment on there? Yeah, enchantment. Evocation, divination, conjuration.
It's
illusion.
Like that.
Transmutation. It's transmutation.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Cool. So then, what we could do is, you've got total. You've got. Well, here's what we could do. 100 is complete, right? We know that. Mm-hmm. Okay. What if? So something I thought of as a basic rule. Rules of magic. The first rule is cannot start training a wizard until school has been founded. Okay. 2, I was thinking cannot cast What do you think if you cannot cast spells of that school?
What do you mean?
So pretty much, if it were evocation, any of your heroes cannot cast evocation spells if you haven't put 100 KP into evocation.
Oh yeah.
And I am thinking about kind of doing an idea where it's like, well, there is chaos magic. It's not just trained magic. So I've thought about ideas of going like, okay, you can have a sorcerer, but in this world, that's gonna have potential like bad things happen. So I'm gonna say unless chaos magic, and we can come back later. I'll do our little handy dandy to-do list, and we can kind of figure out what we want chaos magic to actually mean. And what, like, effects, I guess I should say, it should have. So 100 is total. Now, 100 equals you've founded a school. 3.
Also, your hero can't be of that school if you don't have it founded, said Eric in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of number 2, but we'll definitely add that too. Cannot cast spells at that school. Or have wizards of that school. Good idea. Snapback, Grandma. Number 3. Must have a hex to put school on. So every...
To build school on.
Yeah. Each school must be built on a different hex. Okay. Perfect. Now, we got to ask ourselves, okay, so is it fun enough for a DM to go, all right, I want to choose necromancy school first. And he just puts 100 into necromancy, and now he can build the school. Is that what we want to do? Or do we want to go, okay, when you put 100 into necromancy, you gain an ability. And every time you get all 8 of these, you get some very small ability. Or is that a little too broken? Because that would make it a little bit more fun. You get an ability. Or should we go, 100 is just you get the school. However, if you want to go over in any of these, there are abilities for going over.
I see. I like the idea of spending more KP to get abilities.
Okay, so 100 is to found the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you put like 150, you get an ability of that school.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yes. 150, you think?
Well, I'm just doing an example.
Yeah. 8 schools, 100 KP equals school founded. Now, here's another question. How do you build a school? What? So in production, we've got, let's see here. I mean, we've got swells, right? So I think you should have to have a baseline of swells. And should you have to have some sort of like either wood or, like a wood, I guess, to build wood or stone? Because I think production is going to be wood. Dude, that's going to be really important. Wood or stone is going to be really valuable. So,
it's like Age of Empires. You're going to get that wood and that stone. Build a big castle.
Are you playing that, the newest one?
No, I have not.
So, magic. To build school equals X amount of swells, X amount of
wood or stone.
Yeah. Wood or stone. Okay. Yes. When you get that second ability, right? Should you have to re-put in wood and swells, right? So let's say, we've got our school. And then we've got founded.
Yes.
And this is at 100.
And then
ability. Yeah. We can think of a better name for ability. That's something that's like, I guess, magical. And then what should that be at? 250?
Yeah.
Or
ability.
Yeah, I guess 250. 250 is good. That's a lot to put into one school, and I think you should get. Here's my question: do you have to redo the amount of wood and swells that you do? Like, you're pretty much adding an addition to your school. Like, have you heard about the Great School of Evocation over in Jared's Kingdom? You know, it has that fireball dome or whatever. It's like, oh dang, you know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay, so then
add significant
to improve. What should the magical improvements be called?
Improvements.
What's like a word for like a school, like like a library, or I realize I had my character sheet up. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Library, no. College.
There's Institute. There's like an old timey name for like adding a secret type of a special type of wing to a building, or special type of room to a building. I'm exhausted.
I have no idea.
Okay, we'll call it improvement. for now.
We can figure it out. Yeah, you'll think of it. Expansion.
So then, yeah. I want it to feel magical though. Better name for improvement.
And ability.
I guess I mean that's what I would call it, right? I would just put it here. Okay. So found it at 100. This is like how much you've put in, and then improvement at 200. Okay. What do you want the abilities to be? What sounds fun? Something that you're going to want to put into it, I guess.
Well, it could be. I was gonna say it could be spells, but I don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're already gonna have the spells, right? You mean make new spells?
I say either make new spells or, yeah, I don't know.
I was thinking more of like a kingdom thing. Like, okay, divination gives you foresight, right? It gives you a peek into the future. So what if you can, or it shows you, it gives you a peek into the future, it shows you truth. What if you got, so I'm going to have a rumor mill, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if every week you can pick one thing on the rumor mill? Or you can pick 3 things on the rumor mill, everyone's rumor mill, and you know if they're true or false. Because the whole idea of the rumor mill is, Eric said divination could help out religion or expansion. I like that idea. I do like divination helping out religion. That is good. But kind of what I was thinking of was, like the rumor mill. Let's say you choose to look at 3 of the rumors, and I tell you as the DM, I straight up tell you, like, yeah, that's true. Like, that one is true or that one is false. Does that sound good, or do you want to make it something more religion-based? Because if we make it religion-based, which is fine, then I feel the need to make all of them cover a certain policy.
Yeah, like one would have to be religion, one would have to be entertainment, one would have to be protection.
Which we could. I mean, we don't really have enough policies, but we could, or we could just say, okay, maybe they'll cover a policy, maybe they won't, but number one thing is we are going to make sure that they mean something to that school, right? Like divination.
Mm-hmm. Well, what if it's like it gives like maybe your kingdom a buff or
yeah, it totally could. Yeah.
Or something along those lines, or maybe like your military or something.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Instead of like, I mean we could still do like the whole help out at religion. So like divination would give a buff to something that is religion related.
Yeah.
And then we could add,
I don't know if I really think of divination being, I mean, I guess it is divine, but I think of it more being like future telling, I guess. Mm-hmm. Do you have a better idea, or anyone watching have a better idea? Then you can choose 3 items on the rumor mill. Because, yeah, I do like the idea also of these being able to access things that were kind of otherwise not accessible, kind of like the rumor mill, or something along the lines of, like, divination can let you see, I don't know. Yeah. I'll put that in tentatively, unless either you or anyone watching can come up with a better idea. You can choose 3 items on the rumor mill to know if they are true or false. Because if you're running a game of
Eric said
yes,
I'm assuming as a player I would want it to be a reoccurring ability, not a one-time thing. Maybe every 3 turns or something you get 1 on the rumor mill.
I think that's way too little, because you've got to think that there's not just one rumor mill. There's 5 rumors per kingdom, right? And 2 of them are true, and 3 of them are false. So 5 rumors per 7 other players. That's 35 rumors every turn that you're going to be seeing. which I just realized that's 35 rumors I have to generate, which I have no problem doing, right? But I mean, that's fine. I could go, they could be small, they could be big. And so, I think, I think it should be more than once every 3 turns. But I do like the idea. I also like the idea that, what about 1 every turn? I was thinking 3 every turn. Is that way too many?
I feel like that's a lot, because what if I guess you would never really... You'd have to create 35 rumors every day.
No, I create 35 rumors every week.
Every week, yeah.
Which I could do. Plus, they're all based on what you guys are doing, right? And maybe one week, if it's a week where you just put all into magic, I could go, that could be the rumor. It could be, Jared's people are working tirelessly on, founding the School of Divination or whatever it is. And then, or it could be, and then also the other true one could be, Jared's people are neglecting the entertainment and his people are getting upset with him. Just the idea of that. Also, if you've got 35 and majority of them are false, I don't think it's that broken to have 3 every turn to know if they're true or false. Is it? Because the other thing is you got to think.
What if you pick one king? Oh, I want to know the rumors of that pink kingdom. Then 3 out of the 5 rumors for that week of that kingdom.
Yeah, I mean that's true. But you got to think this person has already put in an additional 150 into this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go 1 every turn.
1 or 2.
And then how about this? 2 at 6th level wizard. And 3 at 9th. Choose, how about this? You can choose an amount of items on the rumor mill to know if they are true or false. Based on 1/3, and that would be rounded down. Yes, rounded down. Your wizard level. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't get anything when you found at 100, just at the improvement. Okay, so then I'll just take out that middle column because we don't really need that. This is the improvement. And then the improvement, you also have to do the swells and the stone. Okay, conjuration. What should this be? That's tough. We need to start thinking of some of these. And what we want to do. Illusion could definitely be something for espionage and or counterintelligence. I think that could be super helpful.
Yeah.
Abjuration could be something for military. Abjuration, I believe, is like defense and defending, or has a little bit to do with that.
Really, I feel like enchantment would.
Enchanting, I believe, is like bolstering things that you already have.
Yeah.
Let's look abjuration to disclaim, formally renounce. Okay.
What is my camera doing? Why am I so blurry?
Emphasizes magic. Abjuration emphasizes magic that blocks, banishes, or protects. So abjuration could have to do with kind of like protect, like defense on your 6 hexes. Your starting hexes,
Yeah.
It could be abjuration +1 aids modifier, special aids modifier, which is in my war video. If you guys don't know what that is, check that out. Conjuration could help build stuff like buildings and or soldiers. I like that. +1 special aids modifier. +1 special aids modifier. I need to say defense. Defense special aids modifier when unit is in 6 starting hex. I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
That's going to be helpful. That's kind of like bunkering down type of thing where like, I'm going to be better at defending. Is +1 too small though is the question.
Maybe
it's helpful.
Maybe +2.
Okay. I like that. +2.
If we need, we can either bump it up or move it back down.
Conjuration could help build stuff in our buildings and our soldiers. Yes, so what we got also that makes me think, what really are we gonna all be building, right? Magic, you're gonna be building schools. Religion, you're gonna be building churches. Other than that, military, I'm going to probably require you to build stuff. Yeah, barracks. Probably barracks, or like, I don't know if I'm gonna go all the way down to like barracks, but I was thinking like if you want a trebuchet or something.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to spend wood and.
Well, you're gonna need like an encampment for your military units, right?
Yes. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know if I want to go that small. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I want to go. Although I guess trebuchet is pretty small, but like. So my question is, okay, you build an encampment. What good would that do for you? I mean, you could, if it's one of your hexes, you could, you're right, yeah, totally. You could have a military, like, an encampment where you build on a hex. Yeah. But then again, we've got all this stuff. All this stuff needs to be useful because it's stuff you can trade, right? So entertainment, you're going to have to use the luxuries here somehow, right? However, some of this stuff can just be stuff that like, once you have 400 religion, you become you get a +1 to something, or every KP is boosted. Like these could be KP boosters as well, not just necessarily. Do you see what I'm
saying? Yeah. That'd be nice.
Okay. Because they're not all necessarily going to help you buy stuff. They just need to be useful. Now, wood and stone is probably going to be something that's going to help you buy stuff, right? Also, we need to figure out how swells are going to help other than just building, right? Like, if you have a bunch of swells, does that give you extra KP towards magic? Is something we got to figure out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is true. Maybe next time we work on our production tab.
Yeah, that one's huge. I've kind of been avoiding that. Okay, so then conjuration could conjuration could just give you conjuring is creating things, right? Conjuration could give you a buff multiplier for swell, and or it could just be the simple thing of like choose three policy, or choose 3 of these things and you get a buff multiplier for them. Like that's pretty simple. That's helpful
for conjuration. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So that it's kind of like, okay, it adds to whatever you really want it to be.
So choose 3 production abilities.
Those are natural resources. Choose 3 natural resources. A buff in. Or, well, in that way, you can only put it in 1, right? You have 3 buffs to place in any natural resource you want. That way you can put them all 3 into 1.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay, evocation is pretty obviously like an aggressive school, right? Like,
yeah,
it's just straight up used to elements. Elemental and attack. I feel like there's very little.
That one could be more. That would probably be
something like about your attack.
Yeah, your attack modifier for the war. Maybe
it could boost a casting unit that you have.
I'd say maybe you get up the plus something to a unit if you have a wizard of evocation in that. I don't know if that makes sense.
So like what I was thinking for military is going like, yeah, there's a couple of things you can produce in military. One of them would be trebuchet. Another would be a casting unit, and they can be part of your special aids modifiers, you know.
Yeah.
And this could add like +2 for every casting unit or casting group, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that one's a little bit more niche, kind of like, okay, if you're going to war and you know you're going to get casters, you know, this would be very helpful.
Yeah. So are we doing the quick sidebar? Are you going to do the war kind of like mass combat in the last campaign?
Yeah, it's going to be exactly like that. However, it's going to be, and I have a video up on our channel, but it's going to be if you win the hex. The hex is now yours. So you guys are going to be fighting over hexes for the most part.
Evocation could change the weather or prevent storms. Yeah, but how useful would that be? I mean, maybe in a war that would be useful, but I don't see how that could. I mean, maybe storms, but.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? The elemental?
Eric said evocation could
change weather,
or prevent storms.
That would be more role play and situational. I do like the idea. I don't know how good that would be when it comes to compared to everything else though.
Yeah.
I would say that if there's a storm or a situation where you need a storm, I would say you should ask the DM like, hey, can I call on my evocation wizard to do something here, rather than actually having an ability that does that, because I feel like that would be weak compared to the other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, keep talking. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. Necromancy is next, and illusion. I think we said illusion. We're gonna do like counterintelligence for counterinsurgents. So we could do Loki adds 1d20 counterintelligence checks even he was pulling espionage.
What's that? Sorry.
I was looking at illusion and counterintelligence.
Illusion or espionage, right? Is what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have an espionage tab?
Yeah, under kingdom points.
Yeah. Well,
so a recon, you can spy another kingdom to find out what their main victory is. Can only be caught with a crit fail. Other kingdoms are crits. Other kingdom does counterinsurgency if you fail.
Maybe we do something with that where like other main.
What we could do is what do you think? Did you have an idea, or do you want me to say mine?
I was thinking maybe like you get advantage instead of, or not advantage, but if you roll a crit fail, you can reroll, or vice versa, you give the other kingdom disadvantage on the roll.
Yeah, we could do that. I was thinking a little bit more roleplay fun than that. Is let's say you do fail and they find out who you are. With this, if you have this ability, you can blame it on someone else. Illusion. Your person can pretend to be a soldier from a different kingdom. And
I like that idea.
However, this needs to be like chargeable. This needs to have charges. I was thinking maybe a 5 or 6 recharge. on it.
Or 6 turns.
Yeah, every turn you roll to recharge it.
Roll d6 in a 5 or 6 gets a recharge.
If you are quote unquote caught during recon, you can blame it on another player or another kingdom of your choice. Recharge of... Should it be just 6 or 5 or 6? How
about 5 or 6? And then if we need be, we can change.
Alright. I like that. Dude, yeah, you could do a pretty decent espionage build, I feel like, in this game. That would be pretty fun. Necromancy. Do we want to say if your hero dies, you can bring him back as undead? You can bring him back once as an undead.
No.
Because if you lose a hero and you have a 10th level fighter, I think I'm going to make you restart the fighter level way lower.
But they'd be undead. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I mean, it's necromancy, so yeah. So pretty much like you could, you could be running, because deep into this game, you're going to have heroes that are... Not everyone's going to be 10th level running around on the battlefield. You might have a 8th level, a 7th level, 11th level, and a 10th level,
Well, who's to say I don't just come over and cast Revivify with my wizard?
Yeah, I mean, you totally could if you know the spell and you have a diamond worth 500 gold. Yeah. I mean, that brings up a different question of, in our one-shots, how final is death? My idea was, if your character dies in the one-shot, he's done. Like, he's dead.
Yeah.
So this necromancy thing could say you have another chance with him. It's just an idea. We don't have to do that.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's because you're going to have more than one character.
Yeah. And I think losing a hero is going to suck.
That would be
because it's dropping you back down.
It could be a reoccurring thing as well. So.
What do you mean?
Like if, because you're gonna have more than one character, right? So you'd have this pretty much a second chance with each character.
Yeah.
If that character dies.
Right. Which, more importantly, you're gonna have the second chance at a character that high of a level, right?
Yeah.
Enchantment and transmutation. Then we can get out of here. Probably end it there.
Yeah.
Enchantment will should bolster something, right? Should improve something that is a pre-existing enchantment. Can't like create new things. Exploration. I was going to have a tier list. So like you roll, I think I put it in, yeah, it's right. Oops, it's right here. Exploration idea. After succeeding on a D100 roll to quote unquote find something, roll a D20, 1 through 12 corresponds something that helps with a policy, a magical orb that helps magic policy, etc. If you roll this, then roll a D20 for rarity of the item. 13 to 18 are locations in the world. We could say for enchantment, you get advantage on the rarity roll and choose the higher.
Okay. I like that. For exploration, it gives a buff to exploration, kind of.
Okay. You can roll with advantage for rarity loot rolls. Eric says the clone spell is necromancy, and they could have cloned their hero so that death isn't permanent. I like that. I'm gonna look up the clone spell because I like the idea that it's an 8th level spell. That's the only problem, is if you don't have a wizard of that level school. right? But I mean, you could kind of. You also have to wait 120 days for it to become mature. Jeez. I like that though. I mean, that could be something that's a little bit more role play based, like five fifth level casters got together and all created the clone spell or something like that. Or I guess it could be up to the kingdom of how they want to say that necromancy worked to bring them back, right? Like one person could have a different idea of like, yeah, we cloned him. The other kingdom could have an idea of like, actually, we threw his abilities into a different body or something. Okay, transmutation. What do you think that should be?
What is change? That's like change.
That's like changing things. Changing things, nature, polymorph, stuff like that. I was thinking... that's tough.
Yeah.
Any ideas from chat for transmutation?
I mean, we could do maybe a buff to like colonizing.
Maybe. I was thinking about something. Yeah, I was thinking about something along those lines.
I think you can transform the land pretty much to be in your favor.
Yeah. Or almost, yeah.
Because can't you produce? You wouldn't be able to really produce a resource, but
that's almost what I was thinking in production of like, I feel like that's the same idea as tiles, but
like you can change a hex to be a certain resource.
Yeah. The question is, what does that give you? Because that would probably only give you what? Let's say you have a desert tile and you want to change it to a mountain tile, and you do it. That only gives you what? The one. It gives you the one buff multiplier, and what else?
I mean, you could give you wood and stone as well, right?
Well, but I guess what I'm saying is, because the way that we have it now, the way that I was thinking is that if you wanted to if you wanted to go into production and put KP to make a military, like soldiers, you can do that without any, what tiles would that be? Without any mining tiles. You can go in and make soldiers all day long, but if you have mining tiles, your production's going to be a lot higher.
Yeah.
So you can make anything. You can produce anything. So if we already have something that gives an additional 3 buff multipliers, what good is saying that you can change? Changing's almost worse than the other one because then you lose. Eric's got some ideas. Transmutation is usually nature-based. Trees, rocks, plants. A wood tile could give double wood. Same for stone. Okay, so there's an idea. It could, instead of you get to choose where to put 3 buff multipliers, maybe your buff multipliers double for those.
Or select. But how would we make that reoccurring, like our new reoccurring thing?
Well, it's that's something that would be constant. It already is constant. So, for example, let's say my kingdom I'm on 3 stone tiles, wood or stone tiles, right? I think was the example. That's how many my kingdom already has. As soon as I get this ability, that goes to 6. And if I get one more, it goes to 8. One more, it goes to 10.
Okay, so what about, I like the idea of doubling, but what about the idea of like maybe changing it from wood to stone to maybe, or just changing the buff multiplier, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense.
Do you mean like if you had a hunting islands, you can change it to wood or stone?
No. So like you double your production or your, right, like you said.
Yeah.
But What if you don't want to be doubling anymore? What if you want to double something else?
I think that with transmutation, since I think it's based on nature, you can't double it. You have to. Transmutation is going to be wood or stone based.
Okay.
I think is what he's getting at,
Okay.
would which would make sense. I mean, the other one you get 3 to put anywhere, right? So you get 2 in hunting lands and 1 in magic, right? You get 2 here and you get 1 here, and it's like, oh, cool, that was helpful. However, this one could potentially be way more beneficial if you have already wood and stone.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to be the production guy, that could really help. Like if there's another kingdom that has no wood or stone, you could come in with, double what.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that idea, Eric. Let's do it. Double buff multiplier. For wood and stone. Cool. I like it, guys. I could see it improving mining. Okay. I don't want to double both of those. That's going to get really strong, especially with mining, because that's going to produce military units. And we already, in our magic, we already have.
Well, maybe you could pick one. You can double your wood and stone, or if say they're going for a military victory, they can double their mining.
Yeah. I mean, the problem with that is now we have 3 and maybe it's not a problem. We have 3 schools that aid military.
Yeah. True. Well, 2 of them are like war based though.
Yes, but I mean,
really
producing units, producing men is war based. You're not going to produce them to suck their thumbs. I mean, I guess they could be produced as a show of force. I think that's good with wood and stone, and I mean, I think yes, thematically it could technically improve mining as well, right? But I think that's good. I'm kind of having anxiety over production right now, and we'll get to it another time. But I am a little freaked out about how to make it all important. Also, how to make it so. The problem I have right now is, let's say you and Eric are opposing kingdoms.
Yeah.
Why would Eric trade with you when he could just as easily, technically, make anything himself? So if you can go in and put KP into stuff, what's the need to trade with you when he could do it himself? I mean, yeah, he gets it quicker, but that's the question.
Well, maybe we make it like hex based, I guess.
So you cannot produce any of them if you do not have the hex.
Pretty much, yeah. Kind of like.
Or should it just be like, should the buff multipliers be way more? Right? Like should if you want to make a school and you don't have a hex on a swell, right? Because I don't know if there's going to be that many swells to go around tiles. So let's say if you do want to, there you go. You could trade tiles for X amount of turns so that we trade buffs. Yeah, you could totally do that. I mean, yeah, that's a good idea. But I was also thinking, what if the KP put into you're producing at half the rate if you don't have a hex on it, right? Like it takes you a long time to come up with the production of swells, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, do I want to spend all that KP into that, or do I want to just trade Jared for it really quick? I think there's ways to make it work. I'm going to write down that idea as well. Trade tiles for amount of turns. So you trade buffs. I mean, obviously, you guys can do whatever you want. You guys could come to me with that trade and be like, hey, how does this look? Can we do this? And I'd be like, yeah, of course. I don't know if that logistically would look more like you're just sending the production to him. But no, I like the idea of sending the buff, because then you can produce however much you want for 3 turns. I can put as much KP as I want into that buff, right? Versus you doing it for me. Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, we can get back to production another time.
Maybe next episode. Or
I think next episode, yeah. It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be annoying.
It's going to be a longer episode, probably.
It's going to be a longer episode, and it's going to be a lot of, like, ticky-tacky math. And what I'm scared about with production is making it OP for one specific thing. It could be really easy to be like, oh, we did 15%, and it should have been 5.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with percents like that, and someone could game the system really easily. Well, that's what our play sessions are for, right? To test this stuff out. But yeah, that's kind of scary.
That's true.
So what did we work on? What should I change the episode name to? We did a lot of
magic victory condition.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
I mean, I don't know if we aced it. The more people who could join for production, the better to throw ideas out at you guys.
Yeah.
What's he saying?
He's basically saying the more people that come in Discord or into the chat.
No, that's why it's so helpful to hear, to talk with as many people as possible and be like, hey, what do you guys think? Is this dumb? Is this good?
Yeah, maybe when we work on production, we just get like a group of us. Me, you, Eric, Cody.
Yeah, totally could. Jared, do you have a TV on your monitor?
What do you mean? Yeah, I have a TV.
All right. Well, thank you for joining
us. Oh,
the answer is yes.
That's what I'm looking up at. Yeah, it's my TV and everything. It's like my second screen, pretty much. I was confused. I was like, what are you talking about, Ryan? You know this.
All right. Well, until the next time, roll on.